The air pump is dislocated. It's loose now, but look at the damage it's created. The clutch is completely destroyed. Look at that. Completely destroyed. So I'm gonna have to get this whole thing out, find out if this thing is repairable or if I'm just gonna get a new one. I'm leaning towards getting a new one. So far I've found some on the internet, on eBay, between $4.99 and $700. They're quite expensive. I was expecting it to be expensive anyway. It's a Mercedes Benz, so no big surprises. That's a lower bolt, mounting bolt, and the top bracket bolt and the lower bracket bolt. The only difficulty is removing the pipe up here, back here. It's a rubber hose. And the other difficulty I did have with this one, I didn't know where the tensioner was, so it was very, very difficult to loosen this belt. I think I've been at this job for about 3 hours trying to take out put some slack onto this belt, the serpentine belt. Now that I've got it worked out, there's actually a tensioning nut here. Oh, it's hard to see it, but it's right down there. Right down here there's a tensioning nut. You gotta undo that one anti-clockwise a little bit, but before you even do that, there's another bolt right in between here, somewhere around here. There's a bolt as well, a nut. It's an Allen, and I'll show you the two that I used to loosen it. I used a T10. It was quite tight. I had to put an extension bar on the end of this just to make it loosen. So it's quite a large nut. Just loosen it off a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 turns. That should be enough. And then, undo your tension at the top here. Undo it and press down on the belt at the same time until that tensioner pulley releases. Finally, I took it out. It was a bit of a struggle. It's all loose and ready to go. Look how bad that is. It's terrible. Real bad. Now this is your air pump I think it's for the pollution control, emission control. And this is the clutch wheel. It's totally destroyed. There's no way I can reuse this part, so the only thing left is possibly to either get a whole new wheel and the clutch and just replace that with the bearing, because obviously the problem here, I think what's the problem that started it all was a bearing going bad. Now the worst thing I did, my own mistake, is that I heard the noise. It started squeaking a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, just a bearing, it's not going to be too bad, I'll get it fixed soon. And it didn't last. All of a sudden I just heard this really loud noise, and I thought, oh no, it's finished. So this is the problem. If you hear the noise coming from this area in the pulleys on these Mercedes Benz, get it checked out as soon as possible. If I'd caught this earlier, all I would have had to do is to replace the bearing behind all this. I'm going to see if I can remove the clutch and remove the pulley. Now I've got an impact gun here with a size 22 nut, size 22 socket. I'm just going to try and impact it and see if it will come off. Oh, yep, it came off. There's a nut right there. It wasn't as tight as I thought it would be. It's actually quite easy. Now, here we go. Look at that. So the bearing is definitely gone. Hear the noise in there? It's a little bit noisy. I don't know if that's normal. I doubt it's normal, but oh boy, it really did do a bit of damage leaving it on for that long. I reckon the bearing can definitely be removed. All I gotta do is remove this circlip here, and then the bearing should probably just slide off. I can see the bearings inside. But what I'm worried about is that noise inside. I think I might just try and order a new one. Let's see what part number this is. Perhaps I could just order a new one. Made by Denso. Mercedes Benz official part. Boy, I hope this is the part number. I'll just show it to you now. It's very difficult to read. Now it's a bit easier. Okay, here we go. So there's the part number. Mercedes Benz 000-140-2385. Denso. No oiling. Oh, okay. So it just runs dry. That worries me. I could try and rebuild it, but then I'm just really worried about whether this part is actually any good. It might be actually too noisy to be put back. I'll show you the back end of it. It looks like that. There's a pipe there, the hose, the rubber hose. Okay. Oh well, that's for that. That's enough for now. And there's a gap. I'm just gonna leave it like that until I figure out what I'm gonna do with this whole thing. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you later. I discovered something else. It's worse than I thought. That noise that I could hear, it's actually got a problem inside. There's actually a thing, a little metal piece that just wants to come out right now. So I'm just gonna pour it out now. See if it will drop out. No. There it is. So the internal parts look like they've come apart. So that makes my decision a lot easier. This thing is broken all the way through. There's no need to try and rebuild it or anything, so it's just a new one. End of the story. So yeah, I just thought I'd film this just to show you what it looks like. If you ever wonder what it is that's making noise at the front of your engine, it's usually the bearings in the pulley. Look at that. And this bearing is actually pressed in and it's sort of clamped. It's got little folds here. 6 little folds, 6 folds here and there. So even if you did take it out, you would have to find a way to keep that in. So this part is not easily serviceable unless you know what you're doing.